Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, the U.S. government is facing another shutdown if they cannot come up with a plan. We'll have that coming up.
Plus, the University of Mississippi Medical Center just performed an unprecedented medical operation. Found out more details next. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Juliana Jackson.
Congress has 3 days left to pass a funding bill to avoid a government shutdown once again. The new House Speaker has a plan to do just that, but he might need bipartisan support for it, as Amy Kiley reports.
Time is running out for Congress to avoid a government shutdown this weekend. Today is the first time the House is able to vote on Speaker Mike Johnson's two-step funding plan, but
right now I oppose this measure. I think it's a mistake. I don't support the rule advancing it.
a handful of Johnson's fellow Republicans are poised to block it. If it can't even clear a procedural vote, Johnson might need support from Democrats. That's what cost former Speaker Kevin McCarthy the gavel.
Not commenting on it yet. We're working with everybody.
Representative Jim McGovern is the top Democrat on the Rules Committee. He says he thinks Johnson will bring the bill under suspension of the rules. That means it could skip the procedural vote, but it would need a 2/3 majority to pass.
For now, I am pleased that Speaker Johnson seems to be moving in our direction.
A source with knowledge of the matter says Johnson thinks he has bipartisan support from top congressional leaders.
House Republicans have produced a responsible measure that will keep the lights on.
Of course, the bill also needs support from President Joe Biden. Despite initial criticism, he's now signaling he might be willing to sign it.
We'll see what happens.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
What if you could have a second chance at life? For two people, a historic first internal kidney transplant swap by UMMC gave them just that. Jeff Hughes of Hattiesburg and Dakota White of Mize were both in need of kidney transplants. Initial donors were found incompatible until a unique solution appeared. The family members of those who initially volunteered to donate ended up being the perfect matches for their opposite patients. UMMC hopes this life-saving surgery and story will inspire living donors to give and also show the impact it can have on a recipient.
According to state data, more than 800 people awaiting court-ordered psychiatric treatment were put in jail this year. Almost all in uncertified facilities today. Just one certified jail in the state remains. To be certified, a jail must offer professional psychiatric help, such as on-call crisis care by a physician, supply of medication, and staff training in crisis intervention. The Department of Health has sent letters across the state to county officials, encouraging them to stop holding people in uncertified jails. Lafayette County told the state it did not want its jail to be certified anymore. There are currently only 180 crisis beds in the state.
The Center for Student Success and First Year Experience is celebrating their 10th anniversary. For 10 years, the center has helped students navigate their college experience and find success at Ole Miss. The center has 5 units and 40 professionals dedicated to student success and to find their niche on campus. While their priority is to guide first-year students, the center is also a resource for students of any year, particularly for academic support. The Emperor Fraternity Council is partnering with the William McGee Center to provide a new mental health resource. This student-led partnership promises to help male students better manage their mental health, offering a free online program named Manual, which focuses on mental health challenges for men. Users have 24/7 access to trained professionals to discuss a range of issues. For more information about mental health services on campus, visit healthymindstudy.com.
The university's chapter at Alpha Kappa Psi hosted its first ever Connecting SIP event on November 1st. The event has a networking opportunity for students, local business makers, and university faculty. Panel discussions covered evolving business landscapes, professional transformations, and strategies to develop leadership skills. The chapter has hopes for the event to become an annual tradition and remain a platform for students and professionals to connect, learn, and thrive in the business world. Oxford High School is being named to the Advancement Placement Program School Honor Roll, or AP for short. Only 9% of schools in the U.S. are qualified, and Oxford is one of 2 Mississippi schools to be recognized. Schools earn this award yearly based on which AP program gives students the best chance to earn college credit, college readiness, and to increase a college-going culture. Oxford High School has at least 80 out of 121 seniors to score a 3 or higher on at least one AP exam, and 39 seniors took 5 or more AP exams.
If you are in the holiday spirit, the Oxford Civic Chorus invites you to celebrate the holidays with its 25th anniversary winter concert. The concert will be held on December 9th at 3 p.m. in the David H. Nutt Auditorium. Performances include members of the Lewis Symphony, the North Mississippi Symphony, and the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. The concert is free to the public, but donations are welcomed. You can make a donation at the concert or online at oxfordcivicchorus.org. 9 Lives Cat Rescue is hosting a 10-day foster event to help mental health struggles during the holidays.
9 Lives Cat Rescue is a volunteer-run, foster-based cat rescue that has been caring for cats in Oxford and surrounding communities since 2006.
To participate, fill out the Save Me a Plate form, pick up your foster cat and supplies on November 17th, take pictures, and give your foster lots of love for 10 days. The drop-off for the foster and supplies is on November 27th. Coming up next, a new study shows that large cars are likely to kill you in the road. We'll have more coming up next.
And we'll tell you some tips on how to have a safe Christmas. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
Hey, Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
patch potholes,
and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure.
Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
All right, I'm in the house.
Okay, what do you see?
Nothing yet. Hold on, I think I just heard something. I'm heading upstairs.
Okay, I am almost there.
I'm in the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh shit, it's not here.
What?
The gun's not here.
What do you mean? Where is it?
Cameron, are you in there? Open the door. Cam, come on, Cameron.
I'm here at the scene of tomorrow's shooting, where a 15-year-old will kill 4 children, 2 adults, and then turn the gun on himself.
When the shooting starts happening tomorrow, first I'll probably just think it's firecrackers or a car backfiring or something.
He told some of us that his dad kept a gun in his closet, and he always talked about using it on, you know, the people that bullied him. Tomorrow I'll probably say that I wish I told someone.
You know, after the shooting, we're gonna feel pretty bad about picking on him, but until then, we'll probably just keep doing it because he's pretty weird.
Tomorrow I'll probably point out that something has seemed off with him since the beginning of the school year.
And I'm now joined by the officers who will be the first responders tomorrow. What additional details can you share with us?
Well, someone is expected to tell us after the shooting that the shooter has been posting on social media about doing this for weeks.
So how will you explain the shooting to your daughter?
Actually, I won't get to explain it to her because she won't make it.
This is Christine Lynn, reporting from the scene of another shooting we'll say we never saw coming.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. 3 people were found stabbed to death in a home in St. Albans, Queens this morning. The NYPD says 54-year-old suspect turned himself in at the 113th precinct, telling the desk sergeant he did something bad. Detectives believe the fatal stabbings were related to a landlord-tenant dispute over rent. The identities of the victims have not yet been released, but local officials are speaking out on the tragedy.
Earlier this morning, a 54-year-old male walked into the 113th precinct stating to uniformed police officers that he was having issues with his tenants. The male stated that he did something bad.
I live here for 23 years, and it's the first this ever happened.
It's scary, very scary. That shows that you don't know who's who.
A new study shows drivers of large, boxy SUVs and pickup trucks are more likely to kill pedestrians. The new research comes from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The study found that vehicles with grille areas 40 inches tall or higher are 45% more likely to kill a pedestrian, even when the hood isn't that high up. The study found vehicles with box-shaped front ends are roughly 26% more likely to kill a pedestrian. The IIH says pedestrians' fatalities have increased more than 80% since 2009. Safety experts believe part of the problem is the increased popularity of big trucks and SUVs.
An advisory committee to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recently said phenylephrine in the form of a pill may not actually do anything to ease nasal congestion. Mandy Gaither has more with an allergist on ways to help a stuffy nose this respiratory virus season.
If you're sneezing, have a stuffy or runny nose, you may have a cold or allergies, and antibiotics won't help.
Typically, it just takes time. So 10 to 14 days later, you should continue to see improvement. And by then, hopefully all of those symptoms go away.
While phenylephrine, an ingredient in many popular over-the-counter cold and allergy medications, has been deemed ineffective in easing nasal congestion in tablet form by FDA advisors, there are other ways to unclog a nose, says Dr. Sandra Hong with Cleveland Clinic.
Things like saline rinses can be very helpful. You may have heard of neti pots, and that's where you actually use either boiled water that's been cooled or distilled water. And it typically has salt and baking soda in it to flush out the sinuses and the nasal passages.
Hong says over-the-counter topical decongestants can also help temporarily, but says not to use them longer than 3 to 5 days because they can make nasal congestion worse. She says nasal steroid and antihistamine sprays can also help, and there are still oral decongestants.
Things like pseudoephedrine over the counter. The thing about these are that you do need to go and speak with your pharmacist to sign for those.
Hong says while those medications are safe, they can have an impact on things like blood pressure, so be aware. And she says if symptoms don't improve over time, reach out to your doctor. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
With the Christmas season fast approaching, it's a good time to remember how to keep yourself and your home safe with a tree you may put up. The Consumer Product Safety Commission reminds people that live trees can be a fire hazard. So, making sure the tree is well watered is key. But if you decide to go with an artificial tree, make sure it has a fire-resistant label. When it comes to lights, only use the ones that have been tested for safety. And toss out any sets that have frayed wires or broken sockets or frayed wires.
When you go out and buy toys for Christmas for your children, make sure safety is #1 on your list. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, 11 children died last holiday season. The CPSC says the majority of those deaths were attributed to choking or asphyxia associated to small parts or balls. The agency also says more than 145,000 children wound up in the hospital last year due to a toy-related injury, one type in particular.
The highest injury rate we see are actually with non-motorized scooters. About 35,000 of those visits are related to non-motorized toys. So when you're buying bikes, non-motorized scooters, skateboards, anything with wheels, we really encourage folks to also buy the safety equipment that's associated with them.
Churchgoers in Texas are being warned about a fake priest who is apparently stealing cash from church buildings. Analia Ruiz reports.
People coming to get closer to God, concerned tonight that a man authorities are calling a fake priest infiltrated this church.
I don't have words for that. Trying to impersonate someone.
Parishioners tell us they were recently alerted to the crime, which happened on October 27th.
It's sad. You would wish that didn't happen.
Today we learn new details about what happened from Houston police. They say the man seen in these surveillance images claimed to be Father Martin, a visiting priest from Chicago. He said he left his keys in the priest's residence and bluffed his way past a church staffer. Once inside, police say he stole cash from the rooms of the rectory. In all, they say he was on the church grounds for 30 minutes before leaving a vehicle he left parked nearby. This week, the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston shared this memo with its members, a security alert concerned this imposter priest could try to hit other churches. They say he's on the radar of Dallas police and has warrants out of California and Pennsylvania. Tonight, those here at St. Thomas More are on the lookout and praying for the man accused of victimizing this church.
People don't always make the best choices, and certainly hope that they could turn around choices they're making.
Now let's check in. Now weather anchor Seth Parinto gives us a look at our current conditions. Seth.
Thank you, Juliana. Well, as it stands right now, we are looking at a current temperature of 64 degrees here in Oxford with clear skies, and I'll have more on what's to come later in the week, so make sure to stay tuned for your full forecast. NewsWatch Ole Miss, we'll be right back.
Psst, they're coming. Places, everybody.
Is my light bright enough? You're such a glow-off. Well, you know. And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The tree's roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind that shows a new way? Might you be the kind to hug, or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind. The child had a few more questions after that, and the forest had plenty of answers.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Each year, hurricanes and major flooding threaten cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss with Stormwatch. I'm Seth Parinto. Well, if we take a look outside at our current conditions, we are looking at a temperature of 64 degrees here in Oxford with clear skies and a light breeze of 5 miles per hour. And if we take a look across the rest of northern Mississippi, you'll be seeing temperatures varying from the mid-60s to upper 70s with Tupelo at 79 degrees. And if we take a look at this evening, temperatures will be dipping down to the upper 40s with a low of 49 and some clouds rolling in, but that breeze maintaining at 5 miles per hour. And if we look at tomorrow, we are only looking at a high of 58 with a chance of rain heading our way, again with that breeze maintaining and actually picking up a little bit for a potential high of 10 miles per hour with that chance of precipitation at 40%. And if we take a look across the rest of northern Mississippi tomorrow, you'll be seeing temperatures consistent again in the upper 50s to mid-60s with South Haven beating us all out at 64 degrees. And if we take a look at our 5-day forecast, as you will see, temperatures again consistent throughout pretty much the rest of the week with temperatures in the upper to mid-50s and mid-60s with Thursday and Friday being our high this week at 66 degrees.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it being just a little bit warmer than it has been these past few weeks.
This is, I feel, is perfect fall weather.
True.
Especially for Mississippi. Quintessentially fall.
Yes. Yeah.
But enough about weather. What's going on in the world of sports?
Coming up, the Ole Miss men's basketball team is set to host the Detroit Mercy tonight, and the Broncos beat the Bills in a thrilling Monday Night Football matchup. I'll have that and more coming up next in sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back. I'm Evan Simmons with Sports Watch. Head football coach Lane Kiffin was asked by the media on Monday about his expectations for the attendance of this Saturday's game versus Louisiana Monroe. Here's what he had to say.
So hopefully we keep that up. Kind of like you say with players, there's a test game. This is kind of a test game for fans. Do you show up when it's not a conference game? I would like to think so. Like I've always said, you get really mad when the players don't show up. So have that same expectation for yourself.
Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. and will be aired on SEC Network, where you can catch all of the action. In other football news, Ole Miss sophomore running back Quinshon Judkins is among 10 nominees for the 2023 C. Spire Connerly Trophy, as announced by Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame on Tuesday. Judkins, who won the award last year, is having yet another dominant year as the Rebels' primary ball carrier. Through 10 games, he has 869 rushing yards and 15 total touchdowns on 191 carries. The winner of the award will be announced November 28th at the Country Club of Jackson. The Ole Miss Rebels basketball team is set to face the Detroit Mercy at 7 p.m. tonight in the SJB Pavilion. The Rebels are currently undefeated with a record of 2-0 and hope to continue their winning ways tonight against a winless Mercy squad in the third game of the Chris Beard era. This is the first ever meeting between the Ole Miss and the Detroit Mercy on the basketball court, and the second of 4 contests against first-time opponents for the Rebels this season. This will be the Rebels' third home game of a 4-game stretch at the SJB Pavilion, and the game will tip off at 7 p.m. The Denver Broncos just barely walked away with a W Monday night as they defeated the Bills 22-24. Late game special teams heroics and defense was the focal point for Denver as they forced 4 turnovers and held Josh Allen to only 177 yards passing. The game came down to the final possession as Russell Wilson would drive down the field to set up Broncos kicker Will Lutz for a game-winning field goal. Lutz will go on to miss the kick, but a crucial Bills penalty gave Lutz a second shot at winning the game and would knock it right down the middle on his second opportunity. The Broncos now have won 4 straight, while the Bills has now dropped 4 of their last 6. That's all I've got for sports. Be sure to follow us on X at rebel_watch for the latest sports updates. Now back to you guys, the disc.
Coming up next, we'll give you 5 tips to make sure that you have a safe Thanksgiving.
NewsWatch will be right back after the break.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Thanksgiving is around the corner, and if you're hosting a dinner this year,
get ready for some sticker shock.
This year's feast is going to cost you more, but with some thought and effort, you can save some money.
Reporter Cole Higgins has 5 tips to keep this year's feast under budget.
It's the Super Bowl of all the food holidays, Thanksgiving, and this year's feast is likely going to cost you more. Although turkey prices are down, side dishes are expected to be more expensive this year compared to last year. That's according to Wells Fargo's new Thanksgiving report.
That is the holiday. We clutter it up with so much other stuff, and we spend money until we're blue in the face.
So what can you do to save? Jessica Allen has these 5 tips to trim the costs. The first step is to create a budget and shop early.
Be realistic. What amount are you comfortable spending on a meal or your portion of the meal that you're contributing to the family dinner, and then stay within it.
2, trim the menu. Cut out the sides that are not huge hits at the dinner table. Choose wisely to avoid overspending on items that only get a few bites.
So can you go for meatless appetizers? Can you go for some beautiful, colorful vegetable or fruit side dishes that save you a little bit of money at the grocery store?
Number 3, go potluck. Experts recommend you ask guests to bring the desserts or sides. That way you can split the cost. Number 4, shop smart. Consider buying items in bulk and start looking for deals now.
When you start early enough, you've got time to piece together your meal from this place and this place and this place.
And finally, ditch the pre-made and pre-cut food. Consider buying those fruits and veggies and cutting them yourself. It's a bit more work, but it will help you avoid high price markups. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Well, what do you all have planned for Thanksgiving?
I'll actually be going to the Egg Bowl, so in enemy territory in Starkville, but I'm excited.
Ooh, best of luck to you there.
I'm just going to go home, watch some football, and eat some food.
Yeah, I'm going to go home as well, spend some time with my family and my friends and my dog.
No, same here. I have I think 15 people coming to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, and we also have 2 of my aunts have birthdays on that Wednesday before. So
very busy.
It's going to be very busy in my household.
Yes, very, very
Hopefully
busy.
we have enough beds. I haven't done a head count for that.
Do y'all have any traditional foods?
Pumpkin pie.
Oh yes, pumpkin pie.
Sweet potato pie for me.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see what all we end up getting on Thanksgiving, but that's all we have tonight. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm Juliana Jackson.
And I'm Logan Green with your latest news.
And I'm Evan Simmons with Sports Watch.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Seth Parento.
Be sure to keep up with us on our socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.